Picture this. You're sitting at your kitchen table staring at your bank account. And you're doing that thing most people do, that silent mental calculation. Rent, groceries, phone bill, car payment. And after all of it, you've got maybe $100 left over, maybe $150 on a good month. And your first instinct is, that's not enough to invest. What's the point? So you don't. You leave it sitting in your checking account. Or maybe you move it to savings where it earns basically nothing. And you tell yourself, I'll start investing when I have more money. But that day never really comes. Because there's always something. A car repair, a birthday dinner, a random expense that shows up and quietly swallows whatever was left. What if you had just invested that $100 every single month? Not when you had more. Not when things were perfect. Just $100 every month for 10 years. What would actually happen? Because the answer will genuinely surprise you. Investing is not about having a lot of money. It's about having time. Most people think the path to building wealth looks like this. Earn a lot of money, then invest, then get rich. The real path looks completely different. Start small, start early. Let time do the heavy lifting. The most powerful force in investing isn't how much money you have. It's how long your money has been working. Let me show you with actual numbers, because once you see this, you will never look at $100 the same way again. Let's say you invest $100 every single month into a broad market index fund that historically returns around 8% per year on average. Most people guess $100 times 12 months, $1,200 a year, times 10 years is $12,000, maybe a little more with some interest. That guess is completely reasonable, but it's also completely wrong. After 10 years of investing $100 a month at 8% average annual returns, you wouldn't have $12,000. You'd have approximately $18,300. You put in $12,000 of your own money, and you walked away with $18,300. That extra $6,300 didn't come from your paycheck. It didn't come from working harder. It came from your money making money. That's compounding. But here's where it gets really interesting, because 10 years is just the beginning. What if you kept investing that same $100 a month for 20 years? After 20 years, your total contributions would be $24,000, but your actual balance, approximately $58,900. You put in $24,000. Your account has nearly $59,000. Almost $35,000 of your wealth was created entirely by compounding. And now let's go to 30 years. Same $100 a month. Same 8% average return. After 30 years, your contributions total $36,000. But your balance? Approximately $149,000. Nearly $150,000 from $100 a month. That's not a typo. That's not financial magic. That's just math and time working together. The growth doesn't happen in a straight line. It starts slow, almost frustratingly slow. But somewhere around year 15, year 20, the curve starts bending upward sharply. And by year 25, year 30, the numbers start looking almost unbelievable. This is what investors call the compounding curve. The only way to reach the steep part of that curve is to start early and stay consistent. Yes, the stock market goes up and down. Yes, there are bad years. In 2008, the market dropped over 38% in a single year. In 2020, it dropped nearly 34% in a matter of weeks. Those numbers are scary. But here's what most people don't realize. Zoom out. Look at any 20 or 30-year period in stock market history. Despite every crash, every recession, every financial crisis, the long-term direction has always been upward. The S&P 500 has returned roughly 10% per year on average over the last century, even accounting for all the crashes. When markets drop, your $100 monthly investment buys more shares at lower prices. Think of it this way. Imagine your favorite store has a sale. Everything is 20% off. Do you stop shopping there? Markets work the same way. A downturn is a sale on shares, but most people do the opposite. They stop buying when prices drop. This is why discipline during downturns separates investors who actually build wealth from people who dabble in investing and give up. The simplest and most beginner-friendly option for most people is a broad market index fund, something that tracks the S&P 500 or the total stock market. These funds own tiny pieces of hundreds or even thousands of companies at once. Instead of betting on one company, you're essentially betting on the entire economy. Some of the most commonly used options include funds like VOO, VTI, or FXAIX. The key word is low cost. A fund with a 1% annual fee versus a fund with a 0.03% annual fee might not sound like a big deal. Over 30 years on a growing portfolio, that difference in fees can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Always check the expense ratio before investing. Platforms like Fidelity, Vanguard, and Charles Schwab are widely used, well-established options. Many of them allow you to start with as little as $1, and most allow you to set up automatic monthly investments. Automation is your best friend here, because it removes the decision from the equation entirely. Someone watching this right now is thinking, Jack, $100 a month is still too much for me right now. I genuinely don't have it. What if you started with $25 a month, or even $10? The amount you start with matters far less than the habit you build. A person who invests $25 a month consistently for 10 years and then increases it will almost always end up wealthier than someone who plans to invest $500 a month but never actually starts. Starting small builds the habit. The habit builds the system. The system builds the wealth. In that order. Always in that order. If you currently can't find $100 a month to invest, that's actually useful information. It means your expenses are consuming everything you earn. Going through your spending, identifying the invisible expenses, the forgotten subscriptions, the convenience costs that quietly add up, because almost everyone, when they actually look closely at their spending, can find $50 to $100 per month that is currently going nowhere productive. A friend of mine started investing $75 a month at 24 years old. Not because she had a lot of money. She was working an entry-level job, living in a small apartment. She just knew one thing: start now, figure the rest out later. She set up an automatic investment into a simple S&P 500 index fund, and then she mostly forgot about it. She didn't check it obsessively. She didn't panic when markets dropped. She just let it run. 10 years later at 34, that account had grown to just over $14,000. She had contributed around $9,000. The rest, over $5,000, came entirely from growth. Over those 10 years, her income had grown significantly, so she gradually increased her monthly investment. By the time she was 34, she was investing $400 a month. And the trajectory of that account over the next 20 years? Life-changing? If you invest $100 a month starting today at an average 8% annual return, after 10 years, you'll have approximately $18,300. After 20 years, approximately $58,900. After 30 years, approximately $149,000. All from $100 a month. If you gradually increase that investment by $25 each year, after 10 years, approximately $31,000. After 20 years, approximately $112,000. After 30 years, approximately $310,000. The single most important variable in all of this is not how much you invest. It's when you start. Every year you wait is a year of compounding you can never get back. And every year you start early is a year of compounding you get to keep forever. Wealth is not built in dramatic moments. It's not built by finding the perfect stock or timing the perfect market entry. It's built in quiet, boring, consistent decisions made month after month after month. It's built by the person who invests $100 in January even though the market looks uncertain. And in March, even though the news is scary. And in August, even though nothing exciting is happening. That consistency, that boring, unsexy, unremarkable consistency, is what separates people who build real wealth from people who spend their whole lives planning to. And $100 a month is not a small amount. It is the beginning of something genuinely significant, if you give it enough time. So if this video gave you a clearer picture of what's actually possible with consistent investing, even on a small budget, hit the subscribe button. If you started investing $100 a month today, what would you want that money to become? A house? Financial freedom? Early retirement? Drop it in the comments. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now.